Hello, and welcome to the 6th week of our class on school finance. This week our focus shifts from big picture school district finance to two smaller areas of district finance. But one might seem a little outside the norm, but one is very important to everyday school administrators. Chapter 11 in our textbook is about ASB, Student Body Finance. ASB, you should be reminded, stands for the Associated Student Body. And what you learn in schools is that the kids raise and spend a lot of money for their activities. And the key thing I want everyone to take away from the process of learning about the ASB is that it's the kids' money. And the kids are supposed to decide how it is used. Now, things are a little different in elementary school ASBs, which are described as unorganized, but nonetheless, it's the kids' money. And so you will learn a little bit about that this week in your reading in Chapter 11. Chapter 12 is about school district transportation. And it's actually really timely that we're reading that chapter this week, since we all saw a really good presentation by one of our student groups about transportation. As I hinted in the overview of this week, it's a subject that a lot of us probably won't ever pay much attention to unless we end up working in a school district finance office. But you should understand it, and you should understand how it works and what the rules are behind it. It'll make you a more effective school administrator when you become one. Okay, so the big assignment due at the end of week 6 is assignment number 4, which is a short paper about the ASB and financing and the rules and regulations and policies associated with it. As I always tell people, read the prompt, read the questions in the prompt, set your paper up so that it answers those questions. And before you finish the paper, and really probably before you write it, look at the rubric and look at the things that need to happen in the rubric so that I can award you the score that you deserve. In order to write that paper, your assignment is to basically read the ASB Accounting Manual, which we have a link to. It's published by FCMAT, which stands for the Fiscal Crisis Management and Assistance Team. Now, the FCMAT manual is comprehensive. It's also 400 pages long, or nearly so. And obviously, I can't expect you to read all 400 of those pages and to digest them in a matter of a few days. So, I want to give you a little primer on the sections that I think are most important. So, here we go. I'm going to talk. Chapter 2, Roles of ASB. Read it. Chapter 3, Laws and Regulations. Chapter 4, Forming an ASB. That one is particularly important. Chapter 6, Budgeting. Chapter 8, Fundraising. Key chapter because it gives you a lot of information about what you can do and what you can't do. Chapter 9 is about fees. Fees are a bad word these days in school finance because we have been sued by the ACLU because we were breaking the law for decades on fees. You need to know about that. Chapter 11 talks about a student store. Some high schools have them, many don't, but you should know about the rules associated with a student store. And when you read them, you're probably going to hope that you're never actually the adult in charge of one, because it's a ton of work. Chapter 13 is about cash management. Chapter 14, put a little star next to, is about allowable and questionable expenses. And Chapter 21 talks about booster clubs and auxiliary organizations. The chapters themselves really aren't that long, but I wouldn't try and read them all in one night. I would split it up. And I would have my highlighter in hand and just work my way through those things as I read it. Now, when I say highlighter, you're going to read this as a PDF. So I would just have my highlighter tool with me and read it on the screen. I don't know that you would want to print out the entire document. Okay, I think that's enough for you to focus on this week. As I said at the beginning, this is week 6. You're going to complete assignment number 4. And then after that, there's only one major assignment left besides your weekly work. So we're nearly there. For those of you who have the last week of school this week, I wish you luck. I hope everything goes well. I hope your students are all safe and healthy and happy at the end of that week. Thanks for listening. We'll catch up soon. Bye now.